Hello everyone, I'm a Silent Death, and welcome back to Stationeers No Mining Challenge. The last episode we got the stuff I think we need to make an IC chip and an IC editor motherboard. I brought all the ingots inside and 53 iron, 42 silver, and this is the rest of all of it. Exactly 100 steel and a fair amount of other stuff. Not too bad. But first, we have pumpkins. So let's grab these. We're still a little bit low on power, and I think if we try to craft something, we may not have enough.
Oxygen critical.
Let's get us some more money. Where were you, a money trader? Yes. So we've moved out just about everything out of our vending machine. And the price reset. Ooh, it reset to something good. Oh, we could buy some ink and Neil. We don't need Hastaloy.
Pressure critical.
The silicon, we might need Waspaloy. I'm not sure on that one. We'll just look at it later. Let's focus on what we need to focus on. Turn you off. Want to start the generator, but I need this to charge.
Oxygen critical.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our iron that we have, and we're going to make some hydroponic trays. For a couple of reasons. One of them is we need more money. We want to grow more pumpkins. Using up this to get the maximum amount of pumpkination. That is now word. The maximum amount of pumpkination. For a little grow light. We're also starting to get low on gases, and gases are super expensive. Super expensive. So that is what we're going to be spending our money on in the near future. Okay, I think we'll get by with 2? Yeah, it looks like 2. Two liquid pipes. Pressure in our room is getting a little bit too low for us to breathe too. That's not how I want to do it. We want to do it like this. Switch that, and oh, we need one more. Our guy's huffing and puffing again. Okay, hopefully that did not destroy any water. Sometimes it does. It's not supposed to, but sometimes it does anyway. It still looks good. Still have a few days of water left. That's 5 more plants we can grow. And yep, that's within range. Okay. Now then, let's make the IC chip. And we don't have enough gold. Alright. Fine. Oh, let's turn that off first. Wasting power. Speaking of wasting power, let's switch you. It's almost out anyway.
Oxygen critical.
Soon we'll not have to do this anymore, manually anyway. Alright. So we want to smelt some
Oxygen critical.
copper.
Low pressure. Pressure critical.
Not copper, but gold. I don't know why our suit is not keeping our temperature. It's on. Not sure how much we smelted. I think we need 5 for the motherboard, true.
Low pressure.
Alright, let's see how much that is. 8 should be enough. Wow, we're burning through that power fast.
Oxygen critical.
Alright. So you got a nice chip. You might have enough, I'm not sure. More concerned about power right now. Suppose we could use our suit battery if it really gets low. It needs hydration. Whoops, we missed hydrating the pumpkin. There we go. You had the right amount, we just did not place them correctly. Alright, are you finished? You are. So make this. This should not take long. Alright, finally. Guys are growing. We have that. You're out there? Yeah. Okay.
Oxygen critical. Low pressure. Pressure critical. Temperature critical. Temperature low.
Oh, that guy is just complaining about everything, isn't he? Alright, so first thing we're going to do is... Crap, we need a housing, don't we? Because we don't have any way to write this to our thing without a laptop. Well, how much is a housing?
Oxygen critical. Low pressure.
Yep, power's out. Alright, I guess we'll use what we have here. It's half full. I have to do for now. Alright, now where were we? Right. We want to see how much housing is.
Oxygen critical.
We need more copper. Probably we will have to turn on this. I think this is our only source of copper right now. There's some copper. I don't know how much. Probably not enough. I don't think we're going to have enough copper. Hmm. So we either need an IC housing or actual copper. We don't have enough power to trade with. Seeds. Hopefully these aren't too off. Uh, whatever. Alright, I guess we're just going to wait for a little while. Pumpkins are ready, and I've charged up one battery and I'm charging up the second one so we can do some more trading. Okay, that's not good. Let me save and reload. Okay, I've fixed it. I restarted the game. I'm not sure if it was either restarting the game, fixed it, or swapping it back in the communication motherboard. One of those. Okay, that's a terrible price.
Oxygen critical. Low pressure.
We're going to buy this, we decided. Just one of them, probably. Coal, alright. Some coal, this, and wasp belly. That'll be all we'll buy. And then we'll send him on his way.
Oxygen critical.
Are you doing...
Low pressure.
Okay, that's good enough.
Pressure critical. Low pressure. Cognition low.
Alright. So, we only got 3.3 copper from processing all that reagent. Which is not however much we needed, which was like 8 or something. 7? We need 7 more. Okay, so we're going to try to trade. Here's why we charged up our batteries.
Pressure critical. Low pressure. Oxygen critical. Pressure critical.
And soon we will not have to listen to this anymore. Very soon. Super soon. This is not initialized. There it goes. So there's another ore guy. 88. 82.
Oxygen critical. Low pressure. Pressure critical.
And this might be the same guy. I'm not sure. It's possible. We're going to check.
Oxygen critical.
I guess the assorted goods guy. Let's turn these off first.
Low pressure.
Nope, it's a different guy. And he consumes copper. Oh, a lot of copper too. Excellent. How much do you give us for pumpkins? A decent price. Not great, but it's okay. Iron. More steelite. Invar is good. I'll grab a little bit of nickel. I think we need that to build the arc welder or something like that.
Oxygen critical.
We could pick up some silver, but we usually get enough of that.
Low pressure.
Gold, a ton of gold. Silicon. Custom tin. Don't need that. Okay, I think that's everything we need. Confirm. We will shut off your power though. Probably just sell some more to you next time.
Oxygen critical. Low pressure.
Here.
Pressure critical. Low pressure.
Okay, I forgot to. We actually need to grab the stuff out of the machine first.
Low pressure. Oxygen critical. Pressure critical. Air tank critical.
Air tank's critical too. Everything is critical. Alright, we want to grab the copper. Keep the copper for now. I'll do the rest of it off camera.
Oxygen critical.
Where are you, copper?
Low pressure. Pressure critical.
Didn't need to press that? Okay. This is taking forever. Just this one little convenience that we want to fix. Any seeds? Nope, not yet.
Oxygen critical.
Okay, that's producing. That's done. Just waiting. Just waiting. After this, I'm not quite sure what we're going to do. The temperature going up now? I think it is. Maybe from the machines producing it's producing heat. Possibly. I don't think our water's gotten to temperature yet.
Oxygen critical. Oxygen critical.
Okay, let's just cram this in here somewhere.
Low pressure. Pressure critical.
Can we not put it if this is not welded? Maybe we can put it over here? Nope. Alright, we could put it here. That would be kind of... Not really a good place to put it. Get some light. Maybe that'll help.
Low pressure.
Or we could just weld. Burn the cables. Alright, that should be enough.
Oxygen critical.
Be so glad to get this fixed.
Low pressure. Pressure critical.
Alright, finally. Now then, got the IC header for motherboard. You're on. Take the chip in there. And now we can program this. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I prefer to program in this little IC simulator on the Stationeers website. For one, we can go past the 128 line limit and then come back and figure out how to shrink our program after we've gotten something written that we can understand. Let's start with some aliases. Alias, get with the suit, and then D1, I think. D1 or D0? I'm not sure. We'll figure it out. Okay, so then the other aliases for the registers, we're going to want our pressure, then our temperature. Let's do these like that. Then maybe external pressure. And perhaps external temperature. I'm not sure if we need that one. And perhaps we're going to want our helmet status. And then I guess we could just use R0 for everything else. So we're going to start with checking to see if our suit is open, our helmet is open. So load the-helm, open, to R open. There. And let me make sure that open is the right thing. That's correct. So we will branch if not equal to 0 or open. And we're going to go to say wait helm. There. All right, so this will be, we're going to read the external pressure. So load our pressure, yes, suit, and external pressure. There that goes. And if this is branch less than external pressure, then we'll define a constant. Go define min. We'll say this is like 5. Or no. Yeah, 5 will do. Let's go with 10. 10 sounds fine too. We can always change it if it doesn't work. Then we'll just go close helm. And close helm is going to set our the-helm open to 0. And then jump to start. Then here, we're waiting for our helm to close if we close it manually. So we're going to set of, I don't know what all the things are. Let's see, the air filter. I'm going to set the air filter, the air conditioner, and the air pump all off. Now that we've done that, we will just yield because we don't need to check more than once per tick, and we'll jump back up to here in a loop. R we also need to check to see if the helmet is closed, which is what we should check first. L and then branch to equals 0 to start. Now then we have our check for our helmet. The next thing we want to do is to control the pumps, the air and stuff. So we'll set AC on when we close the helmet, or just do that automatically if the helmet's not open. Then we'll do another define. Define min um, min percent. We'll do it 95%. This is greater than 0 and less than 1. It's going to be a percentage. Then we will check the oxygen levels. So let's load another alias. You are OX. And suit. Want to load, I don't know what it's called, oxygen ratio maybe? Yeah, ratio oxygen. This is how much, well, the ratio, the percentage, molar percentage of oxygen in our suit. And then, let's see, we will set Rx equal to 1 if it's less than less than 10% X and do R0. That'll turn, set this to 1 if R0 is less than 0.0 or 0.95. Less than 95% oxygen, we will turn on our suit. So set our air release to R0. Then actually that's not right. This should be not air release, but our filter. Then we're going to load our pressure setting. We're going to multiply our actual pressure. Then we'll multiply these two together and put them into our pressure. Now, if our pressure is less than 0.95, thing we'll do is we'll add a not here. Not which is one of the modded commands. We could also do set equals to 0. We set this. Air release. That might work. Might not. I'm not sure. I think we'll try it this way. I'm not sure if we need to do that or not. We multiplied this. We want to check this. And this should be R0. And this should be R0. I think that's everything. Then we'll add a yield. And a jump to the start. To loop. Back to the beginning. I think this will work. Let's try it out. Export. It's copied.
Oxygen critical.
Something's obviously not right. Let's see what we screwed up.
Low pressure. Pressure critical.
All right. Helm, filtration, and air filter. So this set the ratio of oxygen.
Oxygen critical.
All right, I think I know what I don't need to do.
Low pressure.
All right, so we're going to restructure the program a little bit to make these two sets functions that wait for the pressure to drop below. So this will keep the filter on until the pressure drops too low, and this will keep the air on until the oxygen drops too low. So let me do that off camera. Okay, what we have here, we have the same helmet check. Then we turn on our AC if the helmet is closed. Then that does not need to be here. Then we check the oxygen ratio, and if that is below the minimum percent, we will go to the filter. The filter checks the helmet again because it's a loop here. Then it turns on the filtration and turns off the air pump. Then we read the pressure setting and the suit pressure. We multiply the pressure setting by 95% and not the actual other thing that we were multiplying. Then we check the pressure of the suit times 95% of the pressure setting, which we had wrong before. We were checking, or we were multiplying this times this, and then checking if that number was less than this, which was not how we were supposed to do it. Then if the pressure is below 95% of the pressure setting, it will return. Otherwise, it's going to sleep a couple seconds, and I might change that to no, I think 2 seconds is okay. You'll sleep for a couple seconds and loop. When it returns, it's right here. So we check the pressure, which we've basically already done. The same pressure check. And if that is less than 95% of the pressure setting, we go to pump, which turns on the air release, turns off the filter after checking for the helmet. It loads the ratio oxygen, checks if that is below the minimum percent, and if so, it'll return. If not, it's going to loop with a 2 second delay again. And we might want to make that, let's go define, delay, we'll just make the sleep a configuration setting. Because I'm not sure exactly how frequently I want that to toggle or whatever. It's this I know we want to change because if our air tank's really cold, we'll get warnings if we wait for it to get pretty low before we start pumping in cold air. It'll give us if the air's too cold warning. But if it's not very much being pumped in, then there's not going to be enough of a change for it to give us a warning. So let's try this out. And it appears to be working. Pressure's going up. Filter's on. If they want to change, it looks like because our pressure's not going all the way up, the filter is not coming down as much as we want. Let's try adjusting this to like 0.8. It's still a little bit good on the, or a little bit low on the pressure. We might want a different setting for the pressure instead of just using the same one. Let's try that. Okay, we've changed this slightly. So we change our minimum pressure to minimum pressure external, and then another minimum pressure, which we put at 70. Let's change this back to 80. See how that looks. And then I just went through and replaced minimum percent with minimum pressure for the pressure in both places. We use it. So that should be, that looks better. Let's check the open helmet part.
Low pressure.
So it turned everything off like it's supposed to. Missed the seed harvest, but oh well. Still have plenty. Turn on you. And we'll swap you out. Actually, let's see if our auto pressure thing holds.
Low pressure.
There it goes.
Oxygen critical.
And it pumped it out. Okay, that is exactly what we wanted. So that looks good. And I'm pretty sure that this would give us an error. Yes, so that is definitely the motherboard. Okay, do we want to buy anything else from this guy? We want to sell him some stuff. And there's nothing else we want. So next episode is probably going to be some more trading. Between episodes, I will grab all the stuff we bought and bring it inside. So that's going to be it for this episode. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.